His name was Geralt of Rivia. He was a witcher, a professional monster slayer. An unusual contract to lift the curse that held a monarch's daughter. It was enough to spend the night with the princess, dusk till dawn. If only she were not a deadly beast, a striga. The traitor responsible for the curse became the bait. Though gravely wounded, the Witcher lifted the curse and gained fame. The world changed with the coming of the Great War, the time of the sword and axe, the time of disdain. Geralt of Rivia disappeared, all but forgotten. But that's another story. The northern kingdoms nursed their wounds for 5 years after the Great War. Plague and famine raged, the death toll unknown. A few surviving elven and dwarven units sought refuge amidst forests, where they prepared for a final, desperate fight. Abominable beasts ruled backwoods, highways, and former battlefields alike. In cities and villages, folk were left wondering, what had happened to the Witchers? The Blue Mountains in the north of Kedwen. The year 1270, 5 years after the Great War.
Everything's all right. I've no idea where you've been. The important thing is you're alive and among friends. Though you look like you just left your grave.
I remember nothing.
We'll speak soon enough. We're nearing Kaer Morhen.
Lady, it seems I am needed in murky waters.
Destiny has brought you here. We must speak.
Naturally.
I am a goddess. You are the sword of destiny. Death has followed you for years.
Perhaps.
Accept this gift from the Lady of the Lake. It will help you fulfill your destiny.
What gift is that?
Kneel, Geralt of Rivia, White Wolf. You traveled a long path fraught with danger. You demonstrated courage and goodness. By divine power, I hereby knight you. Face your enemies without fear. Safeguard the helpless. Never lie, even if it means your death. That is your oath. Arise a knight. Destiny will give you no rest. A long road lies ahead. I see death and blood. I see frosty chaos. Take this sword as a sign of my favor. Once the blade of a great warrior, it lay in the depths for ages, awaiting your arrival.
Milady.
Shh, Witcher. It matters not if you believe in destiny. With the blade I present you, you will complete your mission.
Thank you, milady.
Go, White Wolf, and do what must be done. May you fulfill your destiny.
Behold my people. They feast at my table, find warmth at my fire, and glow with happiness to be separated from the turmoil of war.
You're deluded if you think the sight of women and children will make me leave you alone.
I do not intend to deceive you. The white frost approaches, a cataclysm that will bury the world beneath snow and ice. Each night, I dream of icy wastelands and the death of the old civilizations.
I've heard Ithlina's prophecy.
The cataclysm is unavoidable. Kings prefer to wage local wars to expand their influence, while elves have become terrorists fighting for a lost cause. The world needs a savior, a man of the moment, someone to kindle the flame in people's hearts.
You, savior of the world?
Come, I will show you something. Humans are weak, frail, and inclined toward evil. I shall create a new man, perfect, tempered in the eternal fire.
Finished? Because if you are...
You doubt me? I do not blame you. I had my doubts too. Yet now, my vision is strong. Now that you have seen the ice-encased towers of Vizima, do you understand?
You're rambling to Aldersburg. What do you want?
This is the future. The White Frost has destroyed human civilization. This is the end of time. Do we lose heart, surrender? Never. We can yet avoid our fate.
Save your rhetoric for the plebs.
Understand, the Order and Salamandra acted only to save humanity.
Every criminal claims a higher cause.
You lack humility. Time for a lesson in some.
The unexpected awaits you here.
How did you get here?
You're stronger than the Grand Master thought. You summoned me.
How?
The Grand Master invited you into a vision of the future enclosed in his mind, yet you brought your own visions and specters.
So this isn't real?
It's more than a dream. Should you die here, your death will be very real. I shall accompany you, assist you. But only a blizzard follows us, with nothing beyond it but death.
You haven't changed a bit, Witcher. Again, you emerge from nowhere to kill humans.
What humans? As always, you're perplexing.
Behold the remains of humanity. Ape men, wretched creatures worthy of disdain. Some my own great-grandchildren.
They're human?
The White Frost has stripped humanity of its luxurious robes. All that's left are beasts that think only of eating and procreating. They are human no longer. Their base instincts drive them like the lynch mob from which you saved me. I'm grateful. Take my gift.
I see you have met our degenerate great-grandchildren. Do you understand now why you cannot oppose my plan?
You have yet to say how all this ice justifies your crimes.
Only a grand plan pursued without hesitation could save humanity from what I saw in my visions.
Trust your daydreams that much?
Many of the gifted foresaw the White Frost. Global cooling is this world's destiny.
Why fight it then?
You always believed man makes his own destiny. I seek to change all humanity's fate.
You robbed humanity of its right to decide. You understand nothing.
Geralt, I hear the wails of those who perished, hear their cries, and you will know my pain.
cannot stop this, Witcher. Death follows you.
Murderers never know peace.
Those thoughts always come too late.
As if I had a choice. You never knew feelings that controlled your every step.
I know it's hard to act contrary to your feelings.
We're toys in the hands of fate. Before it casts us apart, accept my gift.
Do you finally understand, obstinate Witcher? Humanity will perish. The few who remain will become animals. My plan would avoid this.
What plan, damn it?
The human nations can only survive the cold through a mass exodus south.
With you leading them?
I'm prepared to do so. I see the future. I command respect. I would rule well. Of course, I had to get rid of any standing in the way, especially non-humans.
Why so obsessed about other races?
You're joking. They detest humans. With the slaughter in Vizima, they discarded their noble masks. How can you stand with the murderers of women and children?
Another lie. You provoked the non-humans.
Hatred for hatred. I'll show you my creations. Honest, they don't hide their intentions behind beautiful faces.
You thought you could stand aside.
I wanted no part of politics. I'm a Witcher. I'm neutral.
We fought for those we love. You scorn that, for you'll never understand it.
A machine created to kill. You had no choice. Your time has passed.
You're obsolete. The world has no use for you. Lay down your sword and rest, Geralt.
Have the courage to face me, Jacques. Stop hiding behind specters and illusions. I'll find you.
You won't get the chance.
Look, Alvin.
It's just an illusion, Triss.
How stubborn you are. I could use you to shepherd my sheep during the first years of winter.
I doubt you mean it. You stole our secrets from Kaer Morhen, used them for the worst ends.
Witches were meant to be guardians, but proved too weak. You loathe yourselves. I needed witches, but perfect ones, emotionless, lacking human weaknesses.
You see human traits as weaknesses? I pity you.
Fear obscures your thinking. My knights never hesitate.
Look, Geralt. Humans, monsters. Easy to mistake one for the other.
True, Your Highness.
I should know, wouldn't you say? The Grand Master is clearly a madman. Even I wouldn't dare pursue a plan like his. We must stop him.
Milady, your wish is my command.
You have class, a rare quality. I wish to fight alongside you. Call it a whim.
must part.
Why?
At the heart of the vision, he controls all. You must go on alone.
See you, Triss. I'll be back.
Good luck, Geralt.
Now, do you see the need to act, whatever the price? Geralt, open your eyes, open your mind.
They treat people like you at St. Lebioda's hospital.
By pursuing me, you proved me right. You faced the dangers that humanity faces, and survived.
Jacques de Aldersberg, your dream is over.
Patience. You may yet change your mind. Imagine thousands traversing an icy wasteland. Could you defend them? You and a handful of witches ridden with doubt, like Berengar? Impossible. Only the greater brothers can do that, but they need to be taught and led. They need you.
I also have an offer. Surrender. Withdraw your mutants. Humble yourself before the king. You'll save many lives.
How confident you seem. A painful lesson awaits.
Again, Wolf. Have you fulfilled your destiny?
Salamandra is dying, soon to be a memory.
Salamandra means nothing. It was but a particle of chaos, the tool of the madman you just slew. Your past, your destiny, the reasons for your resurrection, all remain unknown.
Words, words, words.
You've always used them ably to mask uncertainty and fear. I once promised I would follow you.
Gibberish, Spectre. Tell me what you want or disappear.
Reflect on your deeds, Witcher. I stood near you when you arrived at Kaer Morhen, an omen of its downfall. I observed as you judged the villagers of the outskirts, leaving only blood and fire behind you. You passed through Vizima like a sword through a heart, accusing others, destroying lives, mindful of nothing but your own purpose, to be achieved whatever the means. You slaughtered dozens with your witch's sword. You threw gold to the Scoia'tael, fueling new massacres. You left Vizima in chaos, only to bring destruction upon murky waters. Every one of your decisions brought further devastation. Each choice you made led to greater evil. Vizima blazes. The Order and the Scoia'tael bleed, Temeria. Does your neutrality not taste bitter?
Stop.
You not deny it, Witcher. You are my greatest champion, a perfect means of destruction. Wherever you walk, death and chaos follow. Now, as it was years ago, accept it. Do not fight it. Give up to me yet another man you destroyed.
Jacques de Aldersberg is mine.
You dare to oppose me? I sense your weakness as your life seeps from your wounds. With every drop, death draws nearer. You stand no chance against me. Yield to me.
Never. This is between him and me.
You aim to kill him anyway.
True, but for my reasons, and they're nothing to you. Clear off while you can. Go before it's too late.
You want to fight me? So be it. Your flight from death ends here. Draw your sword.
I was afraid you'd suggest chess.
That sword is for monsters.
So, did you recover everything?
Know what I found on the Grand Master? A dimeritium pendant.
The one you gave Alvin?
I don't know. It looks the same, but older. He must have worn it under his armor for years.
A true keepsake, perhaps.
Maybe it was his way of repelling hostile magic. Or it was there to control inborn abilities, unrelenting visions.
That's something we'll never know.
It doesn't matter. Jacques de Aldersberg, if that was his name, is dead. End of story.
What's next, Geralt?
What do you mean?
Come now. You've recovered what was stolen, punished those who hurt you, you played politics and dismantled conspiracies. You've loved, you've killed, you've come a long way, Geralt. What do you intend to do now?
I'm tired, Dandelion. I want peace and quiet.
As I thought. I've known you for years and never seen such fatigue in your eyes. People expected too much of you. Yet as always, you rose to the challenge, no matter how unreasonable it seemed. Don't get me wrong. I'm overjoyed to be able to talk to you again. But perhaps you should have stayed there, on the Isle of Avalok.
Seems I'll never find rest.
What can I say? Godspeed on your path, Witcher. It seemed the conflict between the Order of the Flaming Rose and the Scoia'tael would turn Vizima into charred ruins. Foltest, however, found a solution. He let the two sides bleed each other. The Order's power waned quickly following the Grand Master's mysterious death. The flower of elven youth perished. Fighting in Vizima's streets, there were no victors. The non-human uprising weakened Temeria, and Foltest realized he would need capable diplomats. Triss Merigold became a royal advisor. Sorceresses gained influence. The king punished or exiled those who had plotted against him in his absence. They were, of course, soon replaced by others. Common folk saw no difference. They were too busy licking their wounds, seeking loved ones. Few people knew what had actually happened in those days in Vizima. They were those who destiny had brought together with Geralt of Rivia. Yet, they chose to remain silent. What then happened to the Witcher? That is a different tale entirely.
Temeria and Redania are allies, thanks in no small part to you. For your toil, a worthy pouch of gold.
Your Highness. Master. Farewell, sire.
Leave us?
Yes, Your Excellency.
The Northern Kingdoms. A lovely map. One that I fear will soon need to be redrawn.
To what do I owe this invitation from Nilfgaard's senior ambassador?
The war ended long ago. At Brenna, the realms united their forces to halt cruel Nilfgaard's northward expansion. You were all so elated at the victory, though only briefly. Without a common foe, the coalition began to disintegrate. Times have changed. Where is the old alliance? What have you done with your victory? Radovid rules Redania. Who does he await that he gathers his armies in the Rex fortresses? So young and impetuous, yet he wields great power. He can only hope that his errors do not prove to be grave ones. His neighbor to the east, Henselt, slaughters non-humans to gain respect, but must content himself with its cheap imitation, fear. All the while submitting to the whispered counsel of his sorcerer advisor, Deathmold. He ventures south yet again to conquer, pillage, and murder. Who this time? His ally from Brenna. A failure of a king who secludes himself from the world so as not to see the contempt in his subjects' eyes. A failure on whose door they will soon knock. And finally, Foltest of Temeria. Dangerous at war and pitiless in politics. A true northern monarch. Not to be brought down by rebelling non-humans, nor by the scheming Order of the Flaming Rose. Miraculously saved by you, of all people, during an attempt on his life, but a troubled king nonetheless. A few passionate nights with a nobleman's wife, nature took its course, and there surfaced a problem. Or more precisely, two problems, now in the hands of their mother, the Baroness Lavalette. Foltest has assembled thousands of devoted soldiers for a crusade to recover his bastard children. Personally, I find it incredibly romantic. Romantic, though costly. Darkness gathers over the heads of 4 kings. Perhaps it is war. Perhaps a war greater than that with Nilfgaard.
I suppose Your Excellency will now tell me what the future holds.
No, Witcher. I sense you will tell me.
Witcher, are you up?
His Majesty, King of Temeria, Pontar, Mahakam, and Sodden, Senior Protector of Bruges, summons Master Geralt to appear before him.
Tell him I'll be there shortly.
Sorry to intrude like this, milady, but the King...
We heard you.
A pleasant day to you, milady. Witcher.
Stupid war. Could have been such a beautiful morning.
A war can never be stupid when waged by your king.
A wise war is a contradiction, Triss.
Then maybe you know just how I should advise our lustful monarch.
Stop falling in love, sire no further bastards, and don't wage stupid wars.
Genius. You know, these bastards could vie for the throne in the future? Then we'd have an even more senseless conflict.
Which doesn't change the fact that...
I know. Foltest and the other northern monarchs are neither the smartest nor the most refined. But they're kings, one of whom we serve.
And I'll see Foltest is summoned, protect him if need be. But once the castle falls, we leave.
Did you dream of the Wild Hunt again?
Mm-hmm. One of the scouts swears he saw a dragon down by the river. Claims he ran into a Scoia'tael unit. That would have been it if the dragon hadn't swooped down. The elves apparently bowed in prayer and he escaped.
A dragon? In the midst of civilization? Oh, please. Besides, does it matter? Witchers don't hunt dragons. Or has something changed?
Nothing's changed. And you're right. It's probably not a dragon. Although it could be a forktail or a slizzard. Maybe even an overgrown wyvern.
The scout ran into some elves and scurried away. That's how that story begins and ends.
The unlucky assassin? How did the autopsy go?
It was a nightmare. In the months since you killed him, the king's medics poked around in his corpse like a bunch of amateurs. What arrived in that cart? Well, I wouldn't even call it a corpse.
Foltest has some trust issues. Did you learn anything?
His pupil suggested he could probably see in the dark as well as you. I couldn't put an age on him.
The killer snuck past all the guards and nearly killed Foltest and me a month ago. And now you tell me he was a witcher?
Possibly. I'm just saying what the autopsy showed. I haven't told anyone, nor do I plan to. I know what it could do to you if it got out. You might be a savior, a king's witcher now, but masters can be as fickle as the cults they ride.
I get the feeling that dream's important. Running frantically through the forest. The wild hunt. They're the last things I remember. I wake up and try to relive the dream and the memory, hoping I'll find some guidance. Some clue to grab onto. Something that'll help me recover my memory.
Dreams can be very powerful. Some people claim they can even shape reality.
People claim a lot of things. The problem is, it's often nonsense.
We'll know in time. I'm sure of it.
All right. Time to look to the lustful king and his stupid war.
I'll join you later.
And not, Excellency. We're out of range of their arbalists.
I am no warrior, sire. I must admit, I prefer to joust verbally or with a pen, the emissary of peace that I am.
Hogwash! You're the emissary of the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. The Emperor of Nilfgaard, who spared no blood conquering over a dozen sovereign realms.
Thus bringing them laws, culture, and peace above all.
Finally! Traitors of the realm boil tar on the walls while you dally with the royal advisor.
How may I assist you, sire?
We mount an assault today, and you'll be at my side. Follow me, gentlemen. Let's not keep the traitors waiting.
Sire, you said we were out of range.
That was a ballista, Excellency. Its arms strengthened with bronze plates and strung with horsehair. It can propel heavy bolts up to a mile away. A deadly and very costly weapon. An experienced crew can cock and release 2 bolts each minute. Yet it has one flaw.
Your Grace, please take cover.
The recoil of the arms is so strong upon firing that the weapon shifts. It simply cannot hit the same spot twice.
I had no idea Your Grace was a learned military engineer.
I'm not. I gave the Baroness those ballistae 2 years ago for her birthday.
Sire.
What say you, Excellency, of men who live in spite of such wounds?
And what say you, Your Grace, of soldiers who inflict them?
Those who did this live no more.
Master Geralt, I wish to converse with you once the storm of battle has subsided.
Forgive me, Excellency. I plan to leave the royal court as soon as possible. Too often they take me for someone I'm not.
What do they call you, soldier? Wait. You served with me at Brenneran during our foray into the Pontar Valley. Norman Sador. Still an arbalist?
Yes, sir. Fate has not been kind to me.
Ha! Norman Sador, for your years of faithful service to the crown, I appoint you Decurion of the Arbalists. Onwards, gentlemen. No reason to dawdle.
Hail to the king!
Where the hell are we headed? What the fuck do we want?
Victory!
This I like! Eyes on the bridge! We're nearly there! Weapons at the ready!
Desist! Or be put down like the rabid dogs you are!
Arian La Valette, this will be no easy task. Surrender, Arian! You'll be treated with honor!
Go plow yourself, king!
Bury them in arrows! Come on, men! For Temeria!
They're well shielded.
You got a better idea?
I'll try to get inside. It shouldn't be hard if the archers provide cover.
That's the son of Louisa and the old Baron. Heir to these lands. He's hot-tempered but good with a sword. Be careful.
I'll try to reason with him.
Geralt of Rivia. You've fallen low, Witcher. Word has it you're one of the best swordsmen in the north. Time to test that rumor.
Enough slaughter. Surrender and Foltest will treat you and your men with honor.
And what guarantee is there that he'll not cut us down to the last?
None.
Foltest defiled my mother. Now he colludes with Nilfgaard.
The king leads an army. You have but a few brave men and your honor. In a minute you may lose even those. Choose.
Hear that, men? The king sends a witcher, and we are to surrender, forgetting the very nature of honor and pride. We must choose. Shame or a witcher's sword. Is that how you would live? Will you bow your heads before Foltest?
Never!
You heard them, Witcher.
Don't be a fool. This is no game. Your men don't need to die. Surrender, and the king will show mercy.
My mother has seen enough of this king's mercy.
What'll you do? Throw yourself on my sword? Run?
He made mother a harlot, then denied her before all the realm.
True enough. But no massacre, no misguided heroism will change that. Drop your weapons.
Should anything happen to my mother, I shall find you and kill you.
Arian Lavalette has surrendered the castle. Open up!
And the Baron lives?
Yes, he lives. I'm not spiteful. Open this gate, kneel before your king, and I shall show you mercy.
Looks like we're stuck.
Indeed, and my magic's no good here. The main force down in those boats is going to feed us to town.
Want to head back to the tent? The camp will be nice and empty now. I've had enough for today.
Tempting. Look, the King's Special Forces.
We want to see him!
You doubt my words, dog? Open the gate now!
Sire.
Vernon Roach. Tell me, Roach.
There's fighting in the town. A section of our forces crossed the river in fishing boats and swarmed the streets, burning, raping, pillaging. The Lavalettes are making a stand near the temple.
What of the Baroness?
Alive and safely tucked away.
Unsoiled, I hope.
As you ordered, sire. She's fine, and beautiful as ever. The children were not with her.
But you know where they are?
In the monastery, but we've yet to penetrate that area.
Cross, quickly!
Protect the king!
The dragon's back! I can't...
Who goes there?
Foltest. I've come for my children. Geralt, wait here. You might scare them.
Ah, thanks be to the gods. My prayers are answered. Go, Boosie.
That's not my father.
But it is your king, boy. Bells, your triumph is complete. The city and fortress taken, sire. Time to thank the Forefather and the Mother Creatrix for this great victory.
A moment, blind man. I've not seen my children in 6 months. The gods can spare another minute. Listen to me. Your mother and I quarreled, but that is over. She was deceived. Evil men turned her against me. These men have been punished, and all will be well from now. No tears, Boosie. One day you'll be king, and kings do not weep.
Armed men approach, sire. Children, go to the refectory.
My knights will soon be here. You must meet them, for one day you will rule them. Boosie, go wash your face. They must not see that you wept.
There's a bucket of water in the next room.
Anais, help your brother.
Sire, let us pray.
They must look like the royal children they are.
They have your eyes, sire.
sixes. Daddy needs you. Oh, shit. Ha! 20 orange to Grandad. Looky there, he's awake. You daft! Don't go in there! Shut it, he's in chains, can't do a thing. Am I right, Master Geralt? Roll again! Why? The dice didn't roll! Calling me a cheat? Take it back. Look, he's awake again. Monster slayer, my ass. A regular horson. I heard witches all start out as roadside orphans taken in by mages. Mages who experiment on them. Folks say they plough witches come the equinox. That's how they get those spooky eyes.
Enough! Take him down and put him in the interrogation room.
I thought you died.
I'm not so easy to kill. I don't believe we've been introduced. Vernon Roach.
Walk around behind me if you want to shake.
How foolish of me. Vess! Unshackle him.
Geralt of Rivia. Care to introduce us?
No, thanks.
Bring something to drink. We can't sit here cotton-mouthed. You will tell me everything you remember. The entire assault. And all that happened in the Solar.
And if I refuse?
I shall have to beat you. I've commanded the Special Forces for a while. Got good at beating others. You're a Witcher. You'd endure much.
You better believe it.
Worst case scenario, you'll suffer through it, go back to your cell, and tomorrow, they'll publicly gut you, skin you, and hang you.
Just like that? For nothing?
No. For Temeria.
Downright praiseworthy. Where should I start?
It was a long day. I wish to hear the important bits.
Just so we're clear on this, I was not eager to go into battle, but Foltest is not someone you refuse. That tower was ridiculous.
It was designed to break the rebels' morale.
A bunch of lords and lordlings took a ride to then pompously stride on top of the walls, while the real army fought and died below them in the shit and piss-filled streets.
If years of service have taught me anything, it's that the Highborn don the best costumes and get the best vantage points, whether at a ball or in battle. But it's not the time for that kind of jousting, Witcher. Continue your story.
Things went relatively smoothly after we came out of that tower. That is, until we ran into Arian Lavalette.
Arian Lavalette laid down his sword. Well, well.
Have you spoken to him?
Briefly. Just before they took him off to the torture chamber. The hard luck of a traitor. Continue.
While I remember, what happened to the dragon?
It destroyed half the castle. Killed hordes of soldiers and flew off.
Where?
In the general direction of Edon.
To think it almost killed us all.
Plowing dragon nearly reversed the course of the battle.
The fighting should have scared it off.
Forget the dragon. I need to hear how this story ends.
You were at my side almost all the time after the bridge collapsed.
Almost. Tell me how you got into the monastery courtyard. Scoia'tael. This puzzle is beginning to come together, Geralt. You're either telling the truth, or weaving a very convincing lie. I want to hear the rest. Foltest bastards. The Solar. What happened?
We might have arrived at the same time if not for tales.
Be specific, Witcher.
Well, the Archpriest told the truth.
I suppose that's the extent of what you'll give me.
Does this mean I'm free?
Foltest, King of Temeria, has been murdered. Unfortunately for you, you're the only suspect.
The murderer outsmarted you, so I'm to rot in this dungeon.
Oh, no danger of you rotting. You'll hang.
Convince them otherwise.
I have no influence over the court.
Foltest told me a lot about you.
If not for him, I'd be a drunk or a vagrant. Foltest did more for me than my father ever did. But then my father did exactly nothing, for I never even met him. In any case, I'll not rest until the murderer is punished.
Tell me how you serve, Vernon.
I carry out orders others are incapable of executing.
What's the situation in Temeria?
The Council of Regents has convened to restore order. That means three things. Utter chaos will prevail, Visima will run dry of wine and strong drink, and the local whores will make a killing.
Is Triss participating in the meetings?
Indeed. Only to find out that she's no longer needed.
How do you know?
It's my business to know.
They want to run a kingdom without a sorceress?
They already have a kingdom without a king. They'll use every opportunity to get rid of her.
Who will rule?
The chief contenders are Count Maravel and Baron Kimbold, who already tussle for control of Lavalette Castle.
What about Foltest's bastards?
The king's blood runs in their veins. So yes, they are entitled to the throne. Not some drooling nobles.
What if someone vouched for me?
You have a witness.
I was thinking of Triss.
Was she not your lover? Who knows? But it's common knowledge she is.
What happened to her?
Well, she's fine. She's been invited to the next meeting of the Council of Regents.
For fuck's sake, you command the Blue Stripes. Do something. The real murderer is free, and he's further and further away with every hour you spend prancing around in here.
I find the Killer Monk story unconvincing.
I don't claim he was a monk. He was wearing a frock, though. He sailed off in a boat with some Scoia'tael.
Would you recognize him?
No problem. A mountain of meat. Never seen anyone bigger.
What would you do if you escaped?
I'd go after the Kingslayer.
You know where to look for him?
Some Scoia'tael helped him escape. That's where I'd start. I expect you might know this particular group of elves.
How'd you work that out?
They wore blue-striped masks. Trophies, I expect.
Yorveth's commando. I know where to find them. We've a trail to follow after all.
If you want to start over and take it easy this time, get me some food.
Now that you mention it. Vess! Bring us food and drink.
Shame you didn't think of that earlier.
It's your own fault, Geralt. Your fate is in your hands. Thank you.
Never heard of women serving in the Special Forces.
Vess is one of my best people.
How'd she wind up in the Blue Stripes?
I pulled her from the paws of the Scoia'tael. Just 16 when they torched her village and slaughtered everyone. The unit commander took a liking and spared her. One last thing. This file is about one Geralt of Rivia.
And Foltest's death?
Actually, Geralt's death. The report details events from 5 years ago. What just happened?
I saw my own death.
And the rest? Have you regained all your memory?
That's all. I just remember the end.
Vess! Interrogation's done. Restrain the prisoner. I'll take the key. I sail upriver at dawn. Guards will collect you in 5 minutes. Eat. You'll need your strength.
There is one crime that all civilizations consider irredeemable and unforgivable: regicide. Transgression of laws both human and divine, a blow to the vital organs of society. That is why those in power create bloody havoc and wallow in it. They are never punished. Not subject to moral judgments, they stand above the law. Henselt's blood now stains Roach's hands and mine. I could have stopped him, but I didn't want to. Now Henselt is a cold corpse, and the blue stripes in the world beyond are laughing.
In recent weeks, we have deliberated extensively in Vizima on who is to succeed to the Temerian throne. Because the fate of Foltest's last child remains unknown, we could not reach an agreement. Unable to reconcile the interests of the esteemed Temerian houses, we have no choice but to divide the country into provinces along the barony's current borders.
This cannot be, John Natalis. Temeria stands between Nilfgaard and the north. It must be a strong and united realm.
I, too, would wish it so, Your Majesty. But when Foltest was cut down by an assassin, the country's very heart burst.
I have learned that Anais La Valette is currently in the hands of the sorcerer Deathmold.
Clearly you have yet to learn of the slaughter that occurred today in the Kedweni camp, King Radovid.
Yet there is hope if the child lives. I hasten to remind you that Vernon Roach, his capture is also your responsibility. He is suspected of murdering King Henselt soon after the monarch's triumph in Vergen. As a Temerian soldier, Roach remains under your jurisdiction, Natalis.
Vernon Roach disappeared with his unit a few days after the successful siege of La Valette Castle. Should he reappear in Temeria, he shall be arrested and tried as the law prescribes.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the northern kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the Conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tanserville's signature.
Without our royal seals, you should be allowed to designate advisors to cowherds at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tanserville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tanserville has royal blood on her hands. She can't sit on the Conclave.
That is a lie.
Have you anything to support these claims, Merigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tanserville was behind the assassinations of Demavend and Foltest.
Officials of the future Council and Conclave. Sheila de Tanserville should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold speaks the truth, Lady de Tanserville will be condemned to death.
Sheila de Tanserville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit on the Conclave.
Arrest her.
You don't know the whole truth. Merigold doesn't know what she's talking about.
There he is.
Wait for me.
Geralt.
This is between me and him.
You don't have to.
I do. He knows how I lost my memory. Wait for me at the city gate. If I'm not there within the hour, leave without me. Took you a while? Is that bauble from Sheila's megascope?
Mm-hmm. My final prank. I switched the diamonds. The one in the megascope has a flaw. Minute. But just large enough to warp the teleport. The Emperor's magic theorists assured me the effect would be spectacular.
I let her escape.
You're heartless. You've no idea what the royal witch hunters have in store for her. A lot of pain for a long time.
I don't doubt it. So, ready to lay your cards out on the table?
No matter the game, there comes a point when all the players need to show their cards. I love that moment. But first, vodka.
I suppose my throat's a little dry.
In that case, let's drink to old friendships. Recovered your memory yet?
Not entirely.
Remember how we first met?
Yeah, I saved your life. Couldn't think of a nicer way to pay me back?
Frankly, I couldn't. I mean, taking care of another man's woman, Yennefer. I can't fathom what you saw in her, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
The winter solstice 1270. Midinvern, the night of magic. Letho wasn't lying, the hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every Witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our Witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were simply too many. A stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation.
Back with me, friend. Got the feeling you left for a minute.
Memories. I remember the Hanged Man's Tree and the Wild Hunt. I remember the exchange. Me for Yennefer.
So, cards out on the table. Unless you chase me all that way just to kill me.
I chased you for lots of reasons. You owe me some explanations to start with.
Let's say I do.
Tell me about Yennefer. What happened after I departed?
She was feverish for several days. Delirious. In agony. We thought that was it. She was on her way out. Somehow she recovered. But even then she was disoriented. Amnesia like you.
What then?
Well, the woman turned out to be quite a character. Throwing temper tantrums. Trying to seduce orcs. Trying to drive a wedge between us. After you so nobly sacrificed yourself, we thought it'd be dumb just to leave her somewhere. She wouldn't have survived more than a month. The whims and vigor of a duchess, but she was just a sorceress with no memory. We were in the heart of the Empire. And as I'm sure you know, Geralt, in Nilfgaard, mages who behave like that either drop their bad habits quickly, or are drawn and quartered by horses in the middle of Victory Square.
So I heard.
So we set out, wandered through the provinces. Everywhere we went, she got in trouble and we pulled her out. And then one day they captured us. The Imperial Secret Police. Me, Ox, Serret, and Yennefer.
Imperial Secret Police?
Mm-hmm. We were separated, and they questioned us. Long and thoroughly, but it was uneventful. No violence. That's how I met Vatia de Rideau. And a couple of weeks later, the Emperor himself. Me. A simple witcher.
What happened to Yennefer?
I don't know. Never saw her again. The Emperor offered me a mission in the Northern Kingdoms. As for Yennefer, I had the feeling she was somehow important to Emir. As I see it, they learned of the Lodge from her. Those Imperial spooks have their ways. All I heard is that Vatir had his men watch Yennefer closely throughout the time she was at the palace. Then we went off to slay the kings of the North. That's where my knowledge ends.
So she's in the Empire?
She was when I left. Every Witcher who wears the Viper around his neck knows the place. We had so many books and scrolls about the hunt that I used to think our school was founded for the very purpose of solving the riddle of the spectral riders.
Know who they are? You know the true identities of the riders?
From what I understand, they're some damn elven race. but they turned out to be a big ruse. The legendary omen of war proved to be a fairground attraction.
No market square mage could possibly conjure up a cavalcade of wraiths speeding across the sky. Then there's the amnesia. No, there's something more, I assure you.
Go ahead, enlighten me. I can tell you want to.
There are a lot of legends and myths about it, but the Wild Hunt is a fact. I've fought and killed many of its wraiths. They were spectral emanations, the avatars of real riders. The riders we ran into by the Hanged Man's tree.
Are you telling me you were carried off by elves? Real material sons of bitches like the ordinary kind we deal with in this world?
They may be ordinary in their world, but they're strangers in ours. The conjunction of spheres. Know the theory? Do you know how monsters appeared in our world?
There's not a Witcher who doesn't know that.
So you know there are other spheres. The most powerful of our mages can open passages between these worlds, and they usually do that to summon the monsters we then have to hunt. The elves we saw come from another world, and they weren't summoned. They found the way on their own. It's not exactly easy, so they usually send their spectral emanations. They come in person on special missions.
As they did for you and Yennefer. So, elves from another world and their trained wraiths. What do they want from you?
I've got an idea, but that's not your concern. How did a Witcher agree to kill humans at another human's bidding?
At the Emperor's bidding, Geralt. And he's no ordinary human. The rulers of the North come up to about where his Pauline's end.
Why?
Simple. He promised to rebuild the School of the Viper, the Witcher's order where I came to be. Witcher's schools in the south fell into ruin long ago, and Witchers themselves became internal exiles, banned from entering most cities. Besides Seret and Ox, I know of 2 other Witchers of the School of the Viper who should be alive and on the path. I don't know where they are. Haven't seen them for years. Now they can come out of hiding. They can come home.
Why are you still here? Why did you wait for me this time?
I knew you wouldn't give up. I knew you'd pursue me. And I don't aim to hide anymore. Fact is, only you know the truth about me, well, and a couple of folks whose word isn't worth spit anymore. I never saw you as a foe. I want to go my way, but if I have to fight you first, so be it. This story ends here and now.
Care to tell me what it was all about?
Kill as many rulers as we could. Lay the blame on the sorceresses. Breed chaos. Prepare the North. Soften it before the invasion. And you know what's incredible? We could not have imagined more fertile soil. No matter what the war's outcome, the northern monarchs will accuse one another. Pursue their God-given rights. Seek vengeance and be at each other's throats for years to come. The North resembles a whorehouse on fire, as your friend Dandelion would say.
How did you manage to contact Sheila?
It wasn't a problem once I learned of the Lodge's existence. Initially, she watched my every move. But sooner or later, everyone starts treating me like a big oaf. I mean, I can change how I look. I stayed close to Sheila, killed a few beasts for her, and whined about how unhappy I was, how unfair the world was. So much, in fact, that I actually got her gander up a few times. I made sure a few potentially trustworthy witnesses saw us together, could link us. Security in case I was captured. I also prepared to assassinate the King of Kavir. Esterad Tyson was to be the first victim of the mysterious assassins. But before I could do the dirty deed, Sheila asked me to slay Demavend. The gods had smiled upon me. I couldn't believe my luck. Here I've been trying to figure out how to frame Sheila. And now all I needed was to carry out her orders and follow through.
Where'd you get your information about the Lodge?
From the Emperor and Vatir de Rideau, the Emperor's chief spy. And I believe they got it out of Yennefer.
She recovered her memory?
Nah. I'd never claimed she informed on her friends consciously. I expect they found a way to tap into her memory in spite of her amnesia, and without her knowing it. There was a sorcerer present when I was questioned. A young, proud intelligence officer. Whatever the case, they gave me a list of the sorceresses in the Lodge. Only Emir, Vatir, and I were present. Only we knew of the mission.
How do you manage to slay Demavend?
Sheila's magic. I mean, she could give us the king's every move. His habits, the positions of the palace guards, anything. All we had to do was navigate the labyrinth and land the final blow. Besides, she had plenty of gold for the preparations. Greased palms abundantly. It had all the makings of a cakewalk. But it's never that easy. We barely avoided our pursuers. And we wouldn't have if not for Yorveth Scoia'tael, another of Sheila's ideas. With Yorveth's elves, not only did we cut down Demavend, but traveling with them put us out of the Lodge's reach. We could calmly plan Foltest's and Hensel's assassinations.
How did you know Foltest would come to the monastery Solar?
Yorveth and I planned Foltest's murder. The King of Temeria would have to deal with the lava-led sooner or later, and he made no secret of it. I was sure he'd want to recover his bastard children in the process. And where do they take the children when a castle's under siege? I had to become a monk, but I couldn't just arrive at the monastery and claim I'd see the light. Not very believable. So one of Arion's patrols out in the forests happened on a Scoia'tael unit torturing a helpless monk. Arion's brave men drove off the elves and I found shelter in the monastery.
No one noticed you had no wounds?
I paid the monk who treated me a lot of orange to stay silent. Actually, it was only a loan, because I killed him later. Only the dead can keep a secret. Then all I had to do was wait for the situation to develop. When I saw you enter the chamber with Foltest, I thought I might fail. Luckily, you failed. To recognize an old friend.
When did you decide to get rid of Yorveth?
As soon as I realized I couldn't manipulate him. A true fox, that one. He was so observant, so dangerous. I got the sense he might see through me at any moment.
You made a mistake. You were untouchable as long as the Scoia'tael were protecting you.
Maybe, but with Yorveth, my hands were tied. If I'd finished off Kieran...
But you didn't. And that allowed me to drive a wedge between you and Yorveth. I forced you to flee.
And I let you live. You know I could have killed you. You're forgetting.
No, I remember. So Sheila was looking for you when she came to Flotsam.
Mm-hmm. She thought she was still in control and wanted to get rid of me. I'd bet my eyes that she thought I'd lost my mind. Or that Yorveth was manipulating me.
And the North descended deeper into chaos.
Exactly. There was just one problem. You. I could have killed you in the Elven ruins. Thing is, you weren't really my enemy.
Shame you didn't take a shot at Hensel yourself. History might have taken a different turn.
Maybe I would have killed him. Maybe you would have killed me. Who knows? But Hensel's death, although desirable, wasn't necessary anymore. The plan could go forward without it. Besides, somebody else got him.
You know who?
Come on. We both know.
I'm done talking. Let's finish this.
Want to fight?
Any vodka left in that bottle?
A swig apiece. Here. The Imperial army is probably crossing the Yaruga as we speak. Pure pandemonium will ensue. The North's finished. Time to go south, where the good life awaits.
You're a fool, Letho. Both you and your Emperor are forgetting one thing. Misfortune brings people together. Very shortly, the North could be united like never before, thanks to you. But that's just not my concern anymore.
I'm not your foe. I never was. Let me walk away and I will. You'll never see me again. Force me to fight, and this time I'll kill you.
Time to fight. Ready?
As I'll ever be.
Witcher had traveled far and wide in search of the Kingslayers. In Flotsam, he slew Bernard Laredo, but few mourned for the Commandant. Flotsam remained Temerian, while command of the garrison and town went to a Vizima noble, a sworn enemy of Kedwen and an avid angler. To this day, folk gather round bonfires in Lobenden to hear of the Witcher's deeds. The Witcher witnessed a great Kedweni victory in Edirn. At Vergen, Henselt's army crushed Saskia the Dragonslayer's motley force, ending the springtime of races. Soldiers of the Unicorn swarmed over the Pontar Valley. As it had before, powerful Kedwen swallowed Upper Edirn whole. Yet subsequent events would render Henselt's triumph short-lived. After Foltest's death, Temeria's neighbors began to vie for the glittering prize that was the realm's throne. Yet the murders of first Demavend, then Henselt, forced them to look to their own problems. Temeria fell prey to its power-hungry barons. But Vernon Roche held a light of hope for the dying realm, and he tucked it away in a place safe and still to await better times. Years before, Geralt of Rivia had witnessed the fall of the Council and Conclave of Mages. The summit in Loch Muin re-established both bodies, their founders sacrificing Sheila de Tanzerville and her accomplices. Yet Radovid also required humility and loyalty from the proud mages, but this did not sit well with all of them. It was a time of great uncertainty, of rape accomplished by royal decree. Yet as troubled as the days seemed, we, who had in some way shaped the world's fate, finally received some respite. Zoltan resumed the quest for his beloved's hand, and I laid my head in the laps of the muses. Who could have known this tempest which had ravaged the north was but a harbinger of darker days, and the preamble to an entirely new tale of Geralt of Rivia.